Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emma. If you don't know me, welcome. And today I'm going to do a mom Q&A, and I'm just Googled a mom tag questionnaire, so I'm just going to go through those questions. And if you're wondering where I am, I'm actually in my little sister's room at my mom's house. So we are just going to have a little bit of a fun video today, and I'm going to read the questions and then I'll answer them. So, number 1, how old were you when you had your first child? I was 23 years old when I had Eloise, and that was in April of 2019, and in June I turned 24, so now I am 24. Number 2, what was the hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months? I would say for me, I had to learn patience because I was so excited to meet our little baby. She was a surprise baby, so we didn't know if she was a boy or a girl. So it was really a test of my patience to wait for her to come and to have her be a surprise baby. So it was so worth it, and I'm so glad we did it. And even though it was hard, it was amazing. I would say the only other thing that was hard was my first trimester. I was pretty sick. I didn't eat a whole lot in my whole first trimester. I actually dropped like 25 pounds because I just couldn't eat very much. But it was all worth it. So I felt a lot better the rest of my pregnancy until, you know, the very end when you're just ready to meet your baby. So totally worth it. Number 3, can you think of any good things you enjoyed during those 9 months? Oh my gosh, I enjoyed being pregnant so much. Even the sickness, even through the impatience, I loved being pregnant. It's the most comfortable I've ever been in my body. I felt like my body was doing everything it was supposed to do, and growing our little girl, and I loved feeling her kick and move and everything like that. Number 4, in your opinion, were all the things you heard about childbirth accurate or way off? For me, I thought they were pretty accurate. From everyone that I talked to, you know, everyone tells you it's gonna hurt. A lot of people told me that I couldn't do it without drugs. That I would give in and have the epidural and all that stuff. But a lot of my encouraging friends told me, just don't stop moving. Don't lay in the bed because that's when the pain really sets in. So for me, the entire time I labored at home, the entire time at the hospital, I was up and moving. I only got in the bed once at the hospital, and it was excruciating because I had to. It was not fun. So I definitely take it that, yes, it was exactly what I had expected. I honestly thought it would hurt more. I was mentally prepared to feel like I was dying, and that just didn't happen. I felt, pain, but it was all leading to something amazing. And you can probably hear baby girl in the background talking. It was just all worth it. It was all pretty accurate, I would say. I stayed moving and everything happened amazingly well. I only had to push for 8 minutes, so it was all worth it. Number 5, would you have handled childbirth differently if you could redo it? Absolutely not. I think I handled it exactly the way God planned me to handle it. And it was an amazing experience. I cannot wait to have more kids in the future. I think God just guided me through the whole experience. I was able to just labor at home. The night before, when I kind of was starting labor, I was able to just sleep between contractions that weren't super strong, and then I was able to the next morning call Jake home from work and just handle them through breathing and through encouragement from my husband. And then right when I kind of knew that I was going to have a hard time in the car, I would have rather have labored at home for longer, but I knew I was going to have a hard time in the car as it was. So we headed to the hospital, and got to the hospital. We were able to breathe through them, stay active, stay moving, and she was born about 3 hours and 50 minutes after we got to the hospital. So it was definitely handled the exact way I would have handled it, and I hope I handle it the same way with future births. Number 6, what would be your advice for someone who is about to have a baby? I would say if you're about to have a baby, I would give you the same advice that was given to me, and that is if you want a natural birth with no drugs, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you feel like you need it, that's always an option. But if your goal is to have a drug-free birth, is to stay up and moving. Everyone told me that had done it before, and it is the best advice I could have gotten. I could not imagine. The one time I had to lay down in bed because it was required, I was in excruciating pain. So I could not imagine laboring without drugs in the bed the whole entire time. I would definitely recommend stay up and moving, stay active, and breathe and relax between contractions, because that's what got me through, and it was amazing, and it was an amazing experience, and I would do it all over again. Number 7, what has been the hardest thing about being a mom? I would say the hardest thing about becoming a mom was learning to sleep differently. I was the person who slept for 10 hours a night, and now I run on like barely any sleep, but it's weird how I just function even better than I did before. I just love being a mom, and I know that the sleep just isn't required anymore. So I would say that would be the hardest thing. It was like lack of sleep, but I've gotten used to it now, so it's really not bad. Number 8, what has been the most rewarding thing about being a mom? I would say watching Eloise grow. It is amazing to see how fast an infant can go from literally just sleeping and eating and pooping and that's it, to being able to laugh and chew on her hands and smile and communicate with us. It is amazing how it has been 11 and a half weeks since she was born, and she is so different and she is so smart, and I just cannot believe how fast she has changed. It is amazing. Number 9, what was the most surprising thing you discovered about being a mom? Again, I would say the ability to run on no sleep is amazing. The first 2 weeks, like, I was running on like 2 hours of sleep a night. It was crazy. But now we get pretty good stretches. Another surprising thing was how much I relied on my husband. I thought I could do it without help, but because I'm the person that doesn't like to ask for help, and I have asked for help from several people, and it has been the most humbling thing for me is that yes, I do need help, and it's good to ask for help. So that is one thing that surprised me, because I'm a very independent person. Number 10, what is the best memory you have involving your child? Well, she's only 11 and a half weeks old, but there's so many memories so far. Definitely giving birth and the amazing experience that was. Also, just her learning so quickly, how she one day will just be not putting her fist in the mouth, and the next day she can't keep them out of it, or she sees her feet for the first time. She is just so smart, and I love watching her learn. It is so amazing. Number 11, what was the most exciting milestone? I mean, she's had quite a few. So far, I would say it's watching her smile and react to how we are acting. So she, went from just kind of laying there looking at us when we were cooing at her and talking to her, and now she smiles back and she kind of repeats hi, and it is the cutest thing. Number 12, what is the worst thing your child has ever done? She's 11 weeks old. I don't think she's done anything wrong. The funniest things that happen are her blowouts. Those are pretty fun. She hasn't had like a lot of big ones, but yesterday she had like a huge blowout. I was home alone, and it all of a sudden, like, it just was everywhere, and it was so funny. It's not a bad thing. It's just something that happened. Number 13, what habit did you wish your child didn't have? She doesn't really have habits. She's a baby, so I'm gonna skip that one. Number 14, what habit of theirs makes you most proud? Like I said, she doesn't really have habits, but something I'm super proud of right now is her sleep stretches are getting longer throughout the night. She is going to bed around 9 o'clock and sleeping until around 2:30, 3:30. I know that's not like gonna happen every time, but she's been doing that most nights, and it is amazing to have a good block of sleep for me for like 4 or 5 hours. So I think that is super awesome, and I'm super proud of her for learning that so fast. Number 15, do you share any similarities with your child, both physical and personality? Oh my gosh, we're both pretty sassy. She's already had a little bit of sass, but definitely she's developing that personality right now. But I have to say, she has the chubby cheeks I had when I was a baby. She definitely has her dad's eyes. She's got me from like here down, so it's really adorable to see that she looks like both of us, and it's super cool to see that we made a literal human being. So that's pretty cool. Number 16, where would you like your child to be in 10 years? So in 10 years, Eloise will be 10 years old, and I just hope she is a confident young girl who just knows her place in the world and knows how much she is loved. So, and a little bit of sass like her mom. Number 17, what is something that having a child has taught you? Having a child has taught me that not everything's going to always go perfectly. I'm a very big planner, and I like to control every situation the best that I can. And now it's, you know, controlled by when she has to eat, when she needs to sleep, when she needs to be changed, when she has to have a bedtime. Because if we get her out of those routines, then we're just messing with our own sleep and all that kind of stuff. So it definitely has taught me that not everything can go exactly as planned. She might not eat 2 hours from her last feeding. It might be only an hour and 30 minutes, or it might be 3 hours. So I can't always plan for 2 hours. I just have to be prepared for whatever she throws my way, and that's been a huge learning experience. But it's coming along, and I feel really proud that we're getting out and about and we're just learning. Number 18, did you imagine that you'd become a mom at the age you became a mom? Yes and no. No, because I thought it would be earlier, honestly. My husband and I, in June, were married for 2 years, and we'd been trying since we got married to have a baby. So I definitely thought it would happen a lot faster than it did, but definitely it happened at God's perfect timing, and we just are so blessed. And I mean, 23 is a really good age to start a family, in my opinion. At least for my life, that's what made sense. So I am so glad I became a mom when I did, and it happened at the perfect time. Number 19, describe your child in a single sentence. Eloise is the most adorable, perfect human being. I say that because she literally is perfect. And she's laughing at me right now because she loves that I think that she's so perfect. So I love her to pieces, and she is just the perfect little girl. Last but not least, number 20. How have you changed as a person since becoming a mom? I've changed, like I said. I've become less of a control freak. I am being a lot more flexible, and I am learning that it is always up to her what the circumstances are going to be. So that has been a huge learning curve, and it's been amazing. So I'm going to do a quick shot of my baby girl. So here's baby girl Eloise. Say I had a cute little outfit on earlier, but she had a blowout. So she still looks like the cutest little girl ever, and I love her so much. And I cannot believe you've been in our lives for 11 and a half weeks already, and we just love you so, so, so much. Thanks for watching, guys.